In example 5, we're going to name 3 solutions from an equation. We have 2 different equations we're going to take a look at. The first one is f of x equals 3x minus 5. One thing to note is f of x is just function notation. And that function notation means that f of x really represents y. So if it helps, we can rewrite this equation as y equals 3x minus 5. Now as we're looking at it and trying to find 3 solutions, we should remember our solutions are going to be ordered pairs. So we essentially want to find 3 different ordered pairs that fit on this line. One way to do that, if we take a look, if we pick an x value, any x value that we want, and plug that in, we can find the y value that goes with it. So what that looks like, let's pick an x, any x that we want. So let's say we want x to be 2. I'm going to plug 2 into here. So what I would have is y equals 3 times 2, that's the number I chose, minus 5. So I've replaced my x with any number. And again, any number you want. 2, 1, 0, negative 10, 100, whatever number you want to put in there. And if I put that in for x, that means my x coordinate of my point is going to be 2. If I evaluate this expression, I'll get my y value. So y is going to be equal to 3 times 2, which is 6, minus 5. So 6 minus 5, which is 1. So my y value would be 1. So when x is 2, y is 1. That's the point that's on my graph. I can continue to pick numbers, plug them in to get my other ones. Another way to do this is using your graphing calculator. So you could go to your y equals. So let's pull up the graphing calculator here. Give me 1 second. Okay, so let's move this over here. And let's record this. Okay, so if we take a look at the graphing calculator right here, if I go to my y equals, remember up here in the corner, I have that y is equal to 3x minus 5. So I'm going to put that 3x minus 5 in here. To do that, I'm going to start with my 3. Remember, the x is the number or the button right next to the green alpha button. So we're looking here at this button. We're going to push that to get our x, and then I have minus 5. And then in order to see my table, because I just want 2 more points in my graph, my table is up here in that top right-hand corner. Notice that my table button is in blue. Since it's in blue, I need to hit the blue second key first. So I'm going to hit second and then table. And I can scroll up and down throughout my table and get different ordered pairs. If we look at the one we had 2 and 1. That's right here. We know that that was an ordered pair. So we can pick any other ordered pair we want. So we have one like 1, negative 2. So let's go ahead and put that number in. So we have when x is 1, y is negative 2. And I can scroll down further if I wanted to. I have the points 6 and 13. I can use that point, so I could use 6, 13. You can use any point that you want. Okay, then next we're going to go over to our other problem. So let's move this out of the way for a second. And let's take a look at letter B. And letter B is 2x minus 3y equal to 12. It's not quite as nice as our last problem because y is not by itself. So what we have to do is we have to get y by itself first. So let's go through that solving process. We'll start by subtracting 2x from both sides. And if we subtract x or 2x from both sides, we're left with negative 3y equal to 12 minus 2x. And then we have to divide everything by negative 3. This all comes from the last chapter. If I do that, I get y equals negative 4. A negative divided by a negative will make that a positive 2 over 3 times x. And then what I'm looking for are my 3 ordered pairs. So I want 3 ordered pairs by the time I'm done. And I'm going to go ahead and use that calculator. So I'm going to bring my graphing calculator back. And if I take a look, I'm going to go back to my y equals. I'm going to clear out the function I had before. And I'm going to type in my new function. Oops, sorry about that. which is negative 4 plus 2/3 x. When I type this in, negative 4, you've got to be very careful on your graphing calculator that you are using the negative sign and not the subtraction sign. So let's hit the negative, and I want negative 4 plus, with my fraction, the 2/3, that must be in parentheses with a division sign. So 2 divided by 3, close that parenthesis, and then I'm using my x, which is right next to my alpha key. If I go ahead and look at my table of values, so remember I'm looking up here, I've got to hit that second key first. I'm going to hit second and table. And as I look through my table, I see there's some decimals and some nice numbers. I like the point 0, negative 4. That's a nice, easy point to graph if I were to graph these solutions. So I'm going to start with that one, and I'm going to put in 0, negative 4 as one of my possibilities. And as I scroll down, I'm not going to use this one with this long decimal unless I really absolutely have to. So I find another nice point, 3 and negative 2, so I'm going to use that one. And as I scroll through, I find another nice point, which is at 6 and 0. And as you continue to scroll up or down, you should find some of those nice points. Not every problem, though, will have nice ordered pairs. Sometimes you will have to choose some fractions or some decimals to put into your ordered pairs, and that's okay. My advice, though, is to try to find these nice points if they're there. If you have any questions, please raise your hand and I'll come around and help you.